creatures that they don't want to leave on the board because they're just going to get Conjurer's Calling into even more creatures.
Right, and they're going to Weapons Project for a little bit more armor and give them enough space to shield slam this Alexstrasza. And again, like, top of the deck being very friendly to Helsinki. They absolutely needed a shield slam there, and they got it.
And they successfully bridged their way to turn 10, which obviously I was harping on a lot last turn, but now they've made it, right? They've successfully made it. Oh, also, in fact, coining to 10 does not work. You actually have to have 10 crystals. Temporary mana crystals don't work.
Correct.
So they were going to have 10 mana next turn, and all of a sudden they're going to be able to Omega Devastate and Omega Assembly and try to find a way to at least...
the Pocket Galaxy. That is spicy. That is like extra 5 pepper on the menu at the Thai restaurant. Spicy bills.
Oh my gosh! You can play that this turn,
and they have Calic Ghost in hand. There is no reason to take Blast Wave or Ice Barrier. I think you take it. You Calic Ghost next turn. Pocket Galaxy for 0.
Yeah, they could. They even had the option if they wanted to play it this turn, just for when if they ever manage to draw their book. They've actually managed to put on a lot of pressure. They haven't found either of their Book of Specters yet.
And this is not even. They have to answer this damage on board right away, right? There's got to be Omega Devastator plus either.
Another Omega Devastator? I mean,
maybe
is that bad?
I think either that or Militia Commander or the Dynamatic.
Oh yeah, we've talked over and over again about how good Dynomatic is, and here it is again.
Or any of those, 2 of those 3 cards will do it. So this is not.
We're actually going to see Coin Eternium Rover. It looks like just to have anything on the board, right? They don't know what's coming down next turn, but they know it's going to be bombs.
Conjurer's Call just came into hand though, but I think Calic Ghost Pocket Galaxy is probably top of the menu here. Although the Crowd Roaster into Conjurer's Calling though is also a very strong play.
Yeah, you get the full effect of this Battle Cry, and then you get to hook some more meaty creatures to contest whatever's coming down. Because you know that the Warrior is they're not out of removal yet. You did get their super here, but they haven't had to spend any of it. Okay. Sure, why not?
My goodness, Antonidas possibly going to deliver some fireballs into the hand for FTW if Helsinki cannot clear this. Now, they do have both of the Omega Devastators. They can absolutely 100% clear this Antonidas, but just the amount of questions that FTW has repeatedly asked and forced answers for from Helsinki. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted to just force the answers to come out over and over again until there aren't any more left. And Bills, there aren't any more left.
No, this is they have a board presence that's not nothing, but it's also not enough to kill Calicos
and Ysera. But yeah, I think it's going to be Calic Ghost, Pocket Galaxy, and Unexpected Results. Actually, really good.
Yeah, obviously the Elemental Evocation is not going to be super useful this game. I mean, a free Flame Strike, a free Unexpected Results.
Like
a free Pocket Galaxy. There's they're kind of spoiled for options here. I guess at this point they're trying to think, what are the last 4 cards that Warrior has in his hand? Obviously none of them are Dr. Boom. I think you can probably say that if Dr. Boom had been available in any of the previous turns where playing it wouldn't have killed them, Dr. Boom would have immediately
yeah. And and I think that they're probably wondering if, which of these spells do they want to cast right now? Do they want to Flame Strike and try to protect Calic Ghost? Do they want the Unexpected Results just to put more trash on the board? Do they want a Pocket Galaxy and make sure the remainder of this game is spicy as all get out? It's going to be the Flame Strike because it's going to allow them to clear one of the Devastators with the weapon and protect Calic Ghost from trades off the board.
And just being able to get Calicos in play, especially when you have so much mana worth of spells in your hand, this Pocket Galaxy for 0 is just gonna be, especially if they can ever. They still bear in mind they still haven't found a single one of their Book of Specters.
Oh, the Brewmaster's gonna actually bounce the Devastator. I didn't even notice that. So that clears the Calicos and shuts off the cheap spells for next turn. But look at this though, 5 life remaining.
They're just
for Helsinki.
they're trying to get set up for next turn, where it's like Vicious Scrap Hound's gonna need to heal us a bunch if we're gonna get out of this game. What do we got here?
Yeah.
Astromancer.
And more power coming into the hand as well for FTW. Astromancer can drop a 6-drop off of its battle cry, and then if they wanted to hit it with Conjurer's Calling to get 2 more 7 mana cards and just create a bunch of threat. And I would have to believe that the read has to be that there's no AoE. Why else would you load up the skip your hero power and then load up the board?
Yeah, they also are potentially looking at Astromancer, Daring Fire Eater hero power, just to make sure this Vicious Scrap Hound can't ever heal them, if for some reason that's a concern. I mean, they're down to 5, right? Like the mage is just trying to figure out the best. I mean, there's also an argument for just like going for. Oh my gosh,
that is not bad. So yeah, Fire Eater gonna make sure that no armor gain comes off of the woof.
Yeah. The vicious woof.
Crowley not helping here. So 7-8, not so that gonna get a little bit of help, more armor gain off of the weapons project.
Okay.
And card draw off of the Harrison. Holy smokes.
And
once
with
again
that, the warrior has actually outdrawn the double Book of Specters mage by about 8 cards.
So this is still near lethal. Fire Tree Witch Doctor could actually go into a fireball and win the game right now.
And
none of those are direct damage spells. No reach from the Fire Tree.
I'm actually interested if they even want to play, since none of these are lethal. They're going to go ahead and Frost Nova to secure the enemy board and just make sure that all of their damage makes it right into Garrosh's face here.
So gonna set them down to 4 after the hero power, assuming they don't go for the Ziliax. I don't see a reason for Ziliax. Oh, they could have magneted Ziliax onto the
damage Stegatron
and put in 3 damage.
Oh, and here we see the backswing Ziliax. So if you magnetize something to a frozen minion, it doesn't.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think it stays frozen. But the brawl that came off that big draw is a very welcome breather for Helsinki. She's been living so close to the edge.
Oh.
Right, Dynamatic is going to clear the board, but this still just leaves them at just 5 life.
And now the way is open to either Pocket Galaxy or just throw this Ysera out and say, like, do you have another one?
Oh, I think you Ysera now because and Khadgar. Ooh, yeah. That's big.
Yeah, so you get this Ysera out there.
I think you do Ysera just because Ysera Awakens represents near lethal.
Yes. Oh, there it is.
Get it. They get. Oh my goodness! And then boom comes off the top for the armor gain.
Oh
or they're actually gonna go for the Ziliax though.
They're gonna have to
lifesteal here and then clear Ysera.
They set themselves to 1.
Oof.
Why did they do that in that?
I don't think it matters. I think either way they end up at 7.
Oh, that's right. Because there was no way that they were going to be able to upgrade Darius Crowley.
Giant just came into the hand though.
Can they wait? Do they? No, they.
So Ysera Awakens is going to clear off the health gain potential from that magnetic. Oh, they gave him. Oh, the Divine Shield prevents the healing, the lifesteal.
They're gonna settle to 1.
1.
But you know, there's only 1 hit point that matters.
So what do they get? Oh, this is not going to be enough, I don't think.
Well, they can rush in the Eternium Rover and hero
and get 2 health there.
Yeah.
Or get 2 armor, rather. So
And
Helsinki goes up to 10 now.
And I know I've said this a lot, but that means both Book of Specters are bottom 10 right now. Which,
yeah, Mountain Giant Conjurer's Call would be an incredibly powerful play here. Just 3 cards left in Helsinki's hand. You got to think that FTW thinks there can't possibly be enough answers for 16 health worth of minion here.
yeah, and there's just, you know, they've Helsinki has just barely been able to handle the past, 6 waves of threat of Big Game Hunter up.
It doesn't clear everything. It's not enough to get the job done, but man,
and actually,
like, answers.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess when your deck is nothing but answers, drawing answers off the top shouldn't be a surprise.
Right.
But the fact that they've always drawn like almost the exact thing they needed each time is really something. I think they're gonna go for. Oh man, that's disastrous.
So they were actually hoping that.
No, they needed to Big Game Hunter first, because that's the only way to guarantee the clear. They Big Game Hunter and leave the 7/8, and then the Dynamatic does 5 damage and then trades for 3. I think that was an error.
Well, but there's a chance it still wouldn't have worked, because Big Game Hunter could have eaten some of the bomb.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you're right. I am wrong. You are right.
Well, but it's the same. It's like 6 of 1. They kind of needed some.
Oh man, and this is just going to be the end of the road for Helsinki, minus a miracle coming off the top. The Brawl!
Oh, wait a minute.
The Brawl was still in the deck.
Oh, this is the second Brawl. They're going to go ahead and discover. They're
going to drive me to drink bills.
This is insane. I can't. So Eternium Rover. Okay, so it's time for some just. Okay, actually, they're going to harvest golems that they make sure.
Right. This guarantees that they get something out of the Brawl, right? Like, no matter if they lose the Brawl, they still get a they still get a rush minion.
So this hedges against Khadgar winning the Brawl, which he did not. It's a oh my gosh!
Oh, they won the Brawl.
Helsinki Red wins the Brawl.
But oh man, though, the Astromancer was a big deal. So they know that's both Brawls, so they can go Astromancer Conjurer's Calling and just refill the board again.
Yeah, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and point this out again. Both Book of Specters bottom 8.
Oh man.
Can you imagine if this Astromancer was hitting? Well, I mean,
I'm interested that they didn't actually do Conjure, but it doesn't matter. They gave it up. They don't want to. There was something they could do. Elysiana is 8 mana, and all it does is leave 8 attack worth of health worth of minions off the board, and they just would have been dead anyway because they were only at 2. So really, it was a Zugzwang. There was nothing they could do to win that situation, and survive fatigue plus hero power. Like,
oh my gosh!
One point of fatigue, 1 ping from the mage hero power is game no matter what. So man, just once again burying the warrior under pressure, minion after minion after minion. You keep throwing stuff at the warrior, eventually it runs out of answers, and that was basically the entire lineup strategy from FTW, and they take a win over a very strong Helsinki Reds team. So we're gonna go ahead and hear from the analysts now. So Necra, go ahead and carry us into the end here.
Thank you so much, Cinder and Dollar Bills, for a third matchup today. It's been the new teams beating the veterans today, which means I think we have some really strong teams within the mix for EU House Rivalries. But I think Cinder nailed it on the head that last match might have been the most exciting. Della, do you want to break down a little bit more of what happened when the Warrior just ran out of steam?
Well, the match started like this is a really unfavored matchup for the Warrior. That's just from the get-go. It was one of the decks they brought to basically just shut down Warrior, but no Conjurer's Calling early really shuts down any sort of early heavy aggression you can do before stuff like Brawl comes online. Also, basically that the Warrior always got like the perfect answer to all the big bombs that the mage just threw down, like the Cairn, the Alexstrasza, the Giants, everything just got dealt with pretty good. But slowly but steadily, the mage just whittled the Warrior down further and further and further. Even with some good brawls, and some good rolls elsewhere. It just wasn't enough, unfortunately, and the Warrior fell short.
Well, the Warrior might have fallen short, but it was a 5-game series. So, Paradox, what was it about those first couple of matches that even put us in this position where it was Warrior versus Mage at the very end?
It was mostly the rogue. We all saw 13 high spirit Togwaggles getting shuffled into the Togwaggle scheme. That was just too many minions, and the Warrior just ran out of removal. Normally the matchup is supposed to be fairly Warrior favored, just because they have so many ways of just keeping the rogue off the board. But when one Togwaggle doesn't win the matchup, maybe 13 can do it. Who knows?
Oh, 13 Togwaggles. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we saw that for the win there, basically. We know Ginger has a yacht, and he placed all the Togwaggles on board, and they just went to the pound town on the poor Warrior. So, but that's how.
Hey, Togwaggle, you want to go to Vegas with me?
Yeah.
Well, there are quite a few Togwaggles and a lot of minion pressure, but does it seem like For the Win Esports might have found a magic formula for this current meta that we're in Conquest in Year of the Dragon?
I think the decks they brought, there's hard to find 4 good decks that beat Warrior consistently, and I think the Rogue is like the weakest deck to beat Warriors consistently, because the Mage is supreme. The Mech Hunter is basically unlosable. And then you have the Mechatoon that always wins in the mirror unless the opponent runs like Saboteur or runs Mechatoon himself. So, yes, the Rogue won there, but that match could swing both ways, as we saw. It was really, really, really close. But yeah, the Rogue was down to what was it, 6 health or something at the lowest? So it could go really, really close, but they managed to edge it out. But I think just bring a good lineup like this, since probably 90% of the field brings Warrior, and you will do great.
Well, this win actually does end up putting For the Win Esports, I believe, up now 1-1.
They're really strong rosters. I just need to check the rosters of the guys who are 3-0. So yeah, Seven Force Club is a bit of a newcomer. They weren't in season 1, were they?
No, they were not.
Just gonna see who's on that team. They're mostly
Spanish team.
newcomers. Yeah, oh, it's the Spanish team from earlier that we were talking about. Oh, in that case, yeah, it is actually really impressive. Yeah, roster. Yes, it is. Yes, Mikkel Mata, Dadru, Andrew Rio, and Johnny Russ. So they must be really good players. I have not heard of any of them, I'm afraid, so I can't give you too much input on that. I am sorry.
That's okay. Well, something that's celebrated here is the diversity of players covering multiple different countries for EU House Rivalries. But as we wrap up today, we covered 3 rounds of Swiss and we've got 6 more. So next weekend, we'll be diving into Swiss rounds 4 through 6. Hopefully not going to see too much more of those Warrior v Warrior matchups. Maybe we'll see some Warriors actually win some games, but I think it's safe to say that Rogue is a clear winner. And Delta, what is the difference between running the Rogue in Conquest versus running the Rogue in Specialist format?
Well, the biggest difference is, you need to build a Rogue that actually beats a wider field, because you can't really change out your tech cards. So you see the differences in the Rogues in all the match, because everyone brings. You see someone doing the more standard, just tempo, and I just beat all the Conjurer mages, I beat the mid-range hunters and stuff like that. And then you see someone doing the more thief stuff with like Hench Clan Burglar and Vendettas and stuff like that. And then we saw the miracle type that skips out the raiding party, which is just insane, to go for the Gadget Sand Auctioneer, a toggle scheme, and just shuffle. You can, basically based on the matchup. If it's an aggro matchup, you shuffle in like 10 Zeal Axes and you're just good to go. If it's like a warrior, you can shuffle in Toggles, you can shuffle in Leroy's, you can shuffle in a lot of stuff into that to just make everything work. And that's what we see here in Conquest, because you need to tailor your deck much more for like a wider field and what you think and what your band strategy is. While in Specialist, like Paradox and me has been playing a lot of Rogue in Specialist. You can basically make one good deck, and then you can have the second deck being just like, I hate Warrior, so here's everything that's good against Warrior. And then the third deck is, I hate the Rogue Mirrors, everything that's good in Rogue Mirror. So there's a lot of things going on in different formats, and it's good to see the Conquest being back, even though I actually like playing Specialist.
That's maybe a little bit of a mixed opinion here, but why don't you give us your final thoughts, Paradox, on some of the classes we might get to see next weekend? Is it still going to be dominated by the 5 classes that we saw today, or are there going to be some Warlock or Druids that show up?
You're asking me a tough question, Necra. I'm pretty sure the Warrior and Rogue are definitely going to be like by far the 2 most popular and meta defining classes. Like if you can't beat Warrior or Rogue, then your lineup sucks and you shouldn't be playing it, in my opinion. So yeah, you have to beat those, and then it's just a matter of just saying, well, what's best against those? Like I think earlier I brought up the idea of the Paladin. Like the Paladin, I think could be a really good inclusion for people who are looking to beat Warrior next week. But Rogue, like, my sincere opinion is that I think Rogue is by far the best class in the game. I think it has basically no bad matchups if you play it correctly and you build it properly. I think that a lot of teams are just going to just ban it out of respect. Like we saw that earlier. We saw 2 of the matches on stream earlier banned Rogue. I saw in the other game, like Rogue is supposedly like only countered by a Warrior, and 13 Dogwaggles showed up and Warrior died. Like, sometimes Rogue can just beat the unfavorables, and that's exactly what you want to have in a Conquest or any kind of format lineup, really.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, that's such a refreshing way to start off EU House Rivalries, but that's it. We have covered 6.5 hours of Hearthstone gameplay. I'm sure the players are tired just as we are, but get ready for next weekend. We've got Swiss rounds 4 through 6, and we're going to see who continues their undefeated run so far. Who will join Attack Mode, 7 Force Club, Ents, and Nordavin at the end of today as well. Well, we're going to find out next week when we come back with more EU House Rivalries. But that's it from us, and have a great night, everybody.